And now, News Channel 10's 24/7 local weather first alert forecast.
Good Friday afternoon, everyone. I am meteorologist Shelden checking in on what's been a pretty active day up in the Northeast so far as we track some thunderstorms that did roll through early this morning, have since moved on out of the area. You can see on our latest radar loop, you can see that system make its way on into Oklahoma, leaving the Texas Panhandle and surrounding regions in pretty dry, fair conditions, at least as of right now. So looking around the region at watches and warnings, there's a lot going on. We've got a heat advisory down here in the orange. You've got severe thunderstorm warnings along with a thunderstorm watch off in Oklahoma and parts of North Texas, and then a red flag warning for critically dry conditions off in New Mexico. So quite a mixed bag here in our area. But let's take a look at your day as a whole, what we're expecting. So we're in the low 70s as we kind of started out the 9 a.m. hour. We're going to see those partly cloudy skies start to move on out. We'll see partly sunny skies as we head on throughout the daytime hours. We're talking high 80s, maybe low 90s for a lot of the region. Let's go ahead and take a look right now at what we are expecting around the area in terms of daytime highs. You'll see 90 right on the nose here in Amarillo, 80s up towards the north where some of that rain-cooled air is coming into play, but places like Childress, Portales, maybe Clovis and Tucumcari as well, maybe pushing closer to that triple-digit mark. But also, don't forget right there, right around 6 o'clock this afternoon, possible thunderstorm chances rejoining the mix here. And so we are in first alert mode for severe storms, mainly off towards the west. That's what we're kind of keeping an eye on. So let's jump right in, take a look at what we're expecting. So a slight risk has been issued for the southern half of the area. Generally, got marginal thunderstorm risk backing all the way up to that dry line in eastern New Mexico, with that slight risk extending on into Oklahoma and parts of North Texas. So here's what's firing everything off. The dry line, you'll see going into about 3 o'clock, that dry line kind of forms up right there. You see dew points in the 60s, down in the 50s, ultimately upper 40s. As that makes its push, that's what's going to fire those storms up just a little bit. That's what's going to get things going, and then those storms will, of course, grow as they go into that more moisture-rich atmosphere. You'll see it kind of push out right there. We'll keep those dew points in the 60s for us, but we'll scatter most of that energy on out of the region as we go throughout the day. Overnight, dew points try to bounce back, but then Saturday, that moisture gets scoured on out of our region. We get pretty dry Saturday afternoon. That's important to the forecast. We'll talk about that just a little bit later on. But first, let's talk about your high-definition model run. We'll see early morning showers and clouds start to clear out. 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there you start to see those little isolated cells popping up in the southwest. Everything generally starts to track east, and the further east it goes, it starts to congeal into a line. That will greatly diminish our tornadic threat, but of course hail and wind going to be very large threats with this, as well as flash flooding. You'll see right there Amarillo kind of on the northern side, it focuses on that southern half, and then it congeals into a pretty strong line that starts around Shamrock, stretches down off towards the southeast, and then moves on out of the area. 10, 11 o'clock, we're pretty much in the clear, and then you're going to notice nothing but sunshine for your Saturday. Those westerly dry winds are going to warm us up and dry us out. So let's look at your storm threats real quick for the west southern half of the region. Flash flooding is low to moderate, as well as tornadoes. We're going to really be watching for strong winds and large hail in terms of those most prominent threats here in the area. So looking further ahead, our next weather maker, summer heat returns to the forecast now going into the rest of tomorrow and then into next week, your weekend next week. We see a high pressure system set up kind of off towards our southwest. What that's going to do is that's going to set up basically nothing happening, at least in our extended forecast. So let's look at our 7-day supercast here. You're going to notice about 40% chances of rain for today with those thunderstorm chances, 90 for a high. We'll get up to 99 with that dry heat for your Saturday. A very weak cold front pushes through going into Sunday, might drop us down to 89, but you're going to notice that cool down is a very short-lived one, as we'll be back to 99, maybe even 100 by next Wednesday. You'll see dry, mostly sunny conditions as we go throughout next Thursday. Maybe a chance of rain beyond the 7-day supercast, but right now we'll focus on these next several days, and then we'll get to next week when it gets here.